Hello, my dear students. I hope you're doing fine at home. My name is Miss Camila, and today we're going to learn about the present perfect. The objective is to identify use and form of present perfect tense. First, we need to know what is the present perfect. We use the present perfect tense to say something started in the past and continues in the present. And here we have two important aspects: verb have, has, and the past participle verb. So first of all, we need to analyze the verb have, has. We know that this verb means tener when works as a verb. It's not a modal verb. Here works as its own auxiliary, and it means haber when we are using it in the present perfect. And here we have to differentiate between have and has. Have, we're going to use it for the pronouns I, you, we, and they. And has, he, she, it. Next, we need to talk about verbs. In the one hand, we have the irregular verbs that we know they change the spelling when they go to the past. So here we have three columns: the infinitive form, the past simple, and the past participle. For example, eat in the infinitive form, when they go to the past simple, it will be written ate, and in the past participle, eaten. The verb write in the past simple will be wrote, and in the past participle will be written. And finally, the verb read in the past simple will be read, and in the past participle will be read. So we know that these verbs change the spelling when they go to the past. Cambian su escritura cuando pasan a pasados. And on the other hand, we have the irregular verbs, that here we know we need to add ed at the end of the verb to make it past. Tenemos que agregarles ed al final del verbo para hacerlos pasados. So here, for example, we have the verb play, that in the past simple will be played, and in the past participle also will be played. Dance, danced, and danced, and finally cleaned, cleaned, and cleaned. So, to make it simple, para hacerlo más fácil, we know that the past simple and the past participle is the same in the irregular verbs. Sabemos que en los verbos regulares, el pasado simple y el pasado participio es el mismo. Now we're going to analyze the three types of sentences in the present perfect. First, the positive sentence. We're going to start with a pronoun, then have or has, depending on the pronoun. Next, the verb in past participle tense, and finally, the complement. For example, I have visited the Easter Island. She has studied for the test. In the negative sentence, we're going to start with a pronoun, next have or has, next we're going to use the word not to make the negation, next the verb in past participle tense, and finally the complement. For example, I have not visited the Easter Island. She has not studied for the test. And finally, the interrogative sentence. First, we're going to start with have or has, next the pronoun, next the verb in past participle tense, next the complement, and finally the question mark at the end of the sentence. For example, have you visited the Easter Island? Has she studied for the test? Here's the activity. Complete the sentences using present perfect. Write everything on your copybook. Send the activity to our email, english.cmhn@gmail.com, with your name and grade. If you have any questions about the activity or the contents, remember that you can send us an email and we will answer you as soon as possible. Here is the activity. Remember, you need to take into account if the sentence is positive, negative, or interrogative, and also the verbs that are in parentheses. Take care and stay safe. Bye.